Hi, I'm Kerry Thomas, a Digital Partnership Manager at Nelson MindTap for Secondary. I'm talking to you today about foundation maths. Everybody needs an excellent foundation text, and we have that for you here at Nelson. But what about a platform that helps you to differentiate and personalise the learning for each and every student at your school? Sounds good, doesn't it? Let's have a quick look. This is Nelson MindTap for Foundation Maths. To launch my course, I simply press this blue button, and what it's doing is opening up the text and everything to do with my class for Foundation Maths 11. Once I've opened my course, the parts that I'm particularly going to show you today are to do with course customization. This means that you can change what the digital book looks like for your students. Foundation Maths typically attracts a cohort of students that sometimes needs a bit more help than others. Some simple things like not giving them too much information at once can make all the difference. This digital platform can allow you to do just that. If I click on these three lines, which we call the hamburger menu, I'll open to a section called Materials. This is the part where I'd like to work today. You'll see a section here that says Edit Materials. Once this section has opened, you can see that it talks about a student course view and your course view. So I'm thinking about some of my students that get overwhelmed when they see too many chapters and how can I possibly ever finish this particular course? Sometimes you want to do things a little bit differently to the order of the textbook. So in this case, we want to start with meters, litres and grams. So I simply grab this one and bring it to the top. Once here, if I want to, I can even rename. It might be in this case that I then want to hide everything else, so I'm releasing small bit by bit to my students. So all I have to do is to move into the sections that I want to hide and go hide in student course. Once I do that, submit. And when I've finished doing this for every chapter that I want to hide, so maybe I'll leave 2 at once, maybe I'll leave 3. That's totally up to you. You know your students better than I do. I'm going to hide this one as well, for example, and submit. And then when I'm happy with what I've done, I simply have to do publish. I suggest you do a little bit at a time, not great big huge chunks. Because this is rearranging the order of my textbook, sometimes it can take a little while for this to happen, depending on how much you're going to do. So don't leave it till the last minute. Give yourself plenty of time to get this going. Once the program has finished rearranging your textbook, it should come back to this screen. If you'd like to see what it looks like exactly for your students, all you need to do is go back to that hamburger menu and go down to View as a Student. View as Student opens up a new tab, so you can always see what it looks like, what you've done, and how it appears for the student in the platform. For example, if I'm assigning work, it will appear here for them. When I've finished hiding everything I want to in my course and changing any of the names that are working for me, I can simply move back up to the top and click this Publish section. Sometimes you want to add in some of those favorites that you have. So let's add a folder. I can call it Cengage School. I'll submit that. And what I'm going to do is add a favorite link. So in this case, I'm going to share a simple interest tutorial video. So I go to my YouTube, get my share, copy, return to my link, add, and now I've added that link into my course. You can see it says Money Tutorial. I want to copy that into my Cengage School folder. And there it goes. And let's publish that. Now my changes have been saved. I can see what it looks like on the student course view, so where it's grayed out. And then if I want to look at what it looks like for my course view, I haven't changed that. I can still see exactly what the book looks like. But what about if we have a good look at what it actually looks like for our students in their digital textbook? I did the 3 lines, view as a student. This opens a new tab for you and looks exactly like it will for your. So if I had assigned any work, it would appear over here. Let's jump over to the 3 hamburger lines again, materials, and you can see my students now only see what I want them to see. Cengage School, the folder that I put in, and the 2 chapters that we're going to work on first. And you'll notice that I have renumbered them. I can think of a lot of students from my classes that would have benefited from something like this. So this is just one of the first things you can do to help to differentiate and use your textbook from Nelson in a different way by using the MindTap platform. Let's have a look at some other ways. Let's go to groups. So in this case, I'm just going to send it to some individual students, and in particular, the ones on camp. I set my dates. They're gone for a little while, so I'll be kind. And I can even select number of attempts. In this case, just 1 will do. At this point, if I need to assign to any other additional student, I can do that. I also need to select a category for which this would be, and this is going to be reading, and assign. Oops, silly me. So of course, as you can see right here, we'll tell you if you missed anything, and I missed to select my individual students within that group as well. And now I'm going to assign. So this is the part that they are going to do. And if I want to check what that looks like for my students again, I simply need to go back to the home. I'll refresh my screen. And you can see that it now has the homework for those particular students. I've shown you just a few things that the Nelson MindTap platform can do, and in particular, some things that you probably haven't seen elsewhere. If you have students that will benefit from features such as read aloud, highlight, note-taking, all those things are in the platform as well. If you would like to see it in full and to stop this webinar from being terribly long for all of you, please contact your learning consultant